Alright guys, we got a full speed test camera comparison for the iPhone 8. If you're thinking about upgrading, I would 100% make the move this year. Everything about the 13 is just going to be way better than the iPhone 8. I literally do mean everything. From display to hardware, speed, cameras. You're getting a pretty good upgrade. I honestly would say, and I'll do that comparison with the 13 Pro here for just my hardcore sort of smartphone people. I know everybody doesn't want to spend $1,000. Wow, that actually started up first. The 8 actually started up before the 13. I know everybody doesn't want to spend $1,000, but I'll get into that comparison. Alright guys, the iPhone 13 is going to set you back $800, and you can pick up an iPhone 8, which I have a video on, which is still a pretty decent option for $200 in the used refurbished marketplace. It actually still is a fairly decent phone here. Before we start launching applications, stuff like that, I want to show you guys the Geekbench scores. Just show you what's going on here. So we have the Apple A15 chip. We have 128 gigs of internal storage, only 13 and 4 gigs of RAM. On the iPhone 8, we have the Apple A11 chip, and then 64 gigs of internal storage and 2 gigs of RAM. So you can see a big jump here in CPU speed and memory, as we're going to see here. So just look at that single core, but really look at the multi-core score right there. Absolutely crazy. So your navigating and everything is just going to feel overall buttery smooth. Even though the 13 doesn't have the 120 hertz, it still feels way smoother just scrolling. Everything feels smoother on the 13. So like I said, you're going to notice really everything being faster on the 13 if you decide to upgrade here. Let's go ahead and get into some applications. You have the OLED versus the IPS display, which is just going to be better, have better colors, and brighter. You can see that, boom. Nothing too crazy there. iPhone 13 is going to just feel snappier. That was really quick though, and both of these are on iOS 15, but we saw how quick the 8 got in there. So I said, I believe iOS 15 is making these older phones a little bit faster, because I ran the Geekbench score and I got a faster score than I got on iOS 14. So I think that they definitely make these phones, are making these phones faster. I don't think they're slowing them down like people are saying. So you can see iPhone 13 faster, but the iPhone 8 is like freakishly fast still. It's actually pretty hilarious. Tempo run. Now you do notice sort of the speed difference a little bit more when we get into like gaming and stuff like that. You'll notice it just gets into games faster. Like it's actually a bit of a noticeable difference there. You can see like I'm already in, I'm already playing. Snapchat. You can see the iPhone 8 keeping up here. Boom, we're in. Like I said, you see a bit of a more notable difference there. Now, where you're going to see a massive, gigantic difference is with the gaming on here. So if you are a gamer, you're going to see a huge difference when it comes to graphics and FPS performance. And also, since the battery life is way better on the 13, your battery life is going to be looking around 8 hours of screen on time. The 13 or the iPhone 8 is doing around I believe 4 hours of screen on time, if not worse, depending on your battery health. See, we're already in PUBG. So you can see when we start to launch like bigger games and stuff like that, you start to notice that difference kicking in there. Alright, so we're in on PUBG here, and you guys will see what I'm talking about when it comes to graphic performance here. Alright, as you can see, iPhone 8 Extreme, and then it only goes to Ultra, I can go up to Ultra HD on the iPhone 13, as you can see, and I still have extreme, FPS all the way through here. So big graphic difference, big performance difference. If you are a gamer, you can play games on your iPhone 13 and the battery won't die really quickly as well. So that is a really good addition. Now, one thing some people might not like is this notch. A lot of people who, have the iPhone 8, they really like just the screen without the interruption here. But I think definitely, if you've never had an iPhone with the notch, you'll get used to it fairly fast. It's not something that a lot of Apple users complain about. You pretty much get used to it. Just I would say, just give it a few days. It'll pretty much look like it's not there. Also, here are the Antutu scores for you guys as well, so you can see you just get a massive difference with scores here. So the camera situation is going to be a massive jump up. So I do want to go over those camera specs for you guys and show you guys these side-by-side images here. So on the iPhone 13 here, we do have a 12 megapixel standard and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. We get 4K video at 2430 or 60 FPS, along with a 12 megapixel standard at 4K 24, 25, 30, and 60 FPS on here. So you're going to get a massive jump up in image quality and low light performance. And then on the iPhone 8, we do have on this guy just a single lens. So only one lens on the iPhone 8, and it's a 12 megapixel standard. It shoots in 4K 24, 30, or 60 FPS with a 7 megapixel selfie that shoots in 1080p. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the video and the still side by side so you can check that out for yourself. Alright guys, here's the video on the iPhone 13 here. Pay attention to the mic quality. We also have an ultra wide that we can take advantage of. Alright guys, here's the video on the iPhone 8 here. We do not have any ultra wide. We do have a digital zoom though. Alright guys, here's the video on the iPhone 8 here. You can see here. And I'll go ahead and hit the lights so you guys can see. See if you can tell the difference with this. Alright guys, we're on the iPhone 13 and I have the capability to punch out to an ultra wide. We'll go ahead and hit the lights here.